All right, welcome everyone. If you're gearing up for your CA Foundation exams, then you are in exactly the right place. Because in this explainer, we're going to crack the code of the Indian regulatory framework. Think of it as your essential toolkit for success.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the big why. Why is all this so crucial for your CA career? Then we'll follow a law's journey, from just an idea to the real deal. We'll meet the regulators who keep everyone in line, and finally, we'll see how the court system steps in as the ultimate referee.
So, first things first, let's tackle that big question that's probably on your mind. You want to be a CA, right? So, why are you spending so much time buried in law books?
And look, let me tell you, it's about so much more than just ticking a box on an exam. This is literally the foundation for your entire professional future.
And here it is, the key takeaway. As the CA, you're not going to be just a number cruncher. Far from it. You are going to be the first person your clients call about all sorts of legal matters. That's why having this foundation isn't just, nice to have. It's completely non-negotiable for your career.
Okay, so now we get why it's important. So let's figure out where these laws actually come from. What's the master plan, the blueprint for all the rules you'll be working with day in and day out?
So, at its heart, what even is law? Well, it's basically the set of rules that make sure we all play fair, both in our personal lives and, really important for you, in business. It's the system that keeps everything on the straight and narrow.
So in India, our whole legal system stands on these four big pillars. But, and this is a huge point for your exam, so listen up, the absolute master blueprint, the one source that everything else comes from, is the Constitution of India. Don't forget that. And this division of power is what makes our federal system tick. The Constitution basically lays out three lists. You've got the central list, the state list, and a joint one that decide who gets to make laws about what. Take income tax, for example. That's on the central list. And that's exactly why there's just one income tax act for the whole country.
Okay, let's dive into a classic exam topic, criminal law versus civil law. It's actually pretty simple when you think about it. Criminal law is all about punishing wrongs against society. Think theft, fraud, that kind of thing. Civil law, on the other hand, is what you'll see a lot of. It's about settling disputes between people or companies, like a broken contract. Getting this difference straight is absolutely vital.
So, have you ever wondered how some idea turns into a real, actual law that impacts millions of people? Well, let's walk through that journey right now.
Think of this process like a lawmaking factory. It all starts with a bill, which is just a proposal. That bill has to be discussed and then passed by both houses of parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. But it's not a law yet. Next, it needs the president's signature, that official stamp of approval. And the final step? It gets published in the official gazette. Only then, at that exact moment, does it become a binding act.
A law is just words on a page if no one enforces it. So, let's meet the key players, the regulators. These are the folks you, as a future CA, are going to be dealing with all the time. So who makes sure everyone follows the rules? Well, that job falls to the executive branch of the government, and they do it through a bunch of different ministries and specialized regulatory bodies.
First up, and this one is a biggie for you, is the MCA, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Seriously, this is going to be central to your work. It handles the Companies Act, the LLP Act, the Insolvency Code. As a CA, you'll be living and breathing MCA rules.
Next, we've got SEBI. Think of SEBI as the watchdog for our stock markets. If you're working with listed companies or anything to do with investments, you'll be answering to SEBI. Their whole job is to protect investors and keep the market fair for everyone.
Then there's the real powerhouse, the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI. It's our central bank, so yeah, it manages our money supply. But it also regulates the entire banking system. So any work you do that touches banks or financial institutions, that's all RBI's world.
And finally, let's talk about a super important regulator in today's economy, the IBBI. That's the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board. They're the ones who oversee the whole process when a company is in financial trouble, and this is an area where CAs play a massive advisory role.
Okay, so what happens when someone breaks the rules, or when people just can't agree on what a law actually means? Well, that's when the judiciary steps onto the field. Yeah, the entire job of the judicial system is to be the ultimate umpire. They're the ones who interpret the laws, settle the arguments, and make sure justice is served.
Our court system has a really clear three-level structure. Think of it like a pyramid. At the bottom, you have the district courts. Then, for each state, you have the high courts. And right at the very top, the final word on everything, is the Supreme Court of India.
Now pay close attention here, because this is a super important principle and a hot topic for exams. Under Article 141 of the Constitution, when the Supreme Court makes a decision, it's not just their opinion. It becomes binding law for every single other court in the country. This idea is called precedent, and it's what keeps our justice system consistent.
And hey, here are a couple of quick-fire facts for you. Perfect for those multiple-choice questions in your exam. There are 25 high courts in India right now, and the oldest one? That's the Calcutta High Court.
So, let's just pull this all together. What have we seen? You're stepping into a well-defined system. You've got the rules, which are the laws. You've got the enforcers, the regulators. And you've got the referees, the courts. Really getting how this whole framework fits together, that's what's going to turn you from just a student into a truly effective and respected chartered accountant.
So as you keep hitting the books, I want you to keep this one question in the back of your mind. How are you going to use this knowledge? It's not just about advising clients. It's about upholding the law and guiding them to success the right way. That, right there, is what it's all about.